Have you ever stood at a bus stop or stared at a subway map, feeling a little nervous about where you're headed or whether you'll make it on time? Maybe it's been a while since you hopped on a train, or perhaps driving's starting to feel like more hassle than it's worth. I get it. My Uncle Joe, who's 74 now, used to say he'd rather walk a mile than figure out a bus schedule, but once he gave public transit a try, he was amazed at how much freedom it gave him. It's like opening a door to your city, letting you go wherever you want without worrying about parking or gas prices. That's what makes mastering public transit after 70 so exciting. It's not just about getting around, it's about keeping your independence and exploring life on your terms. Public transit can feel daunting at first, especially if routes and tickets have changed since you last used them, but it doesn't have to be overwhelming. Today, I'm thrilled to share 5 simple ways to make buses, trains, and subways your ticket to total freedom. These tips are designed to help you feel confident, save money, and enjoy the ride, whether you're heading to a doctor's appointment, visiting friends, or just treating yourself to a day out. By the time we're done, you'll have a handful of practical ideas to make public transit as easy as a walk in the park, no matter where you live. Picture this for a moment. You step onto a bus, find a comfy seat, and watch the world go by as you head to your favorite cafe or a museum you've been meaning to visit. No stress, no fuss, just you, out in the world, feeling like you can go anywhere. That's what these tips are all about, giving you the tools to navigate transit like a pro so you can focus on enjoying your day. We're going to walk through each one together, with steps you can start using right away, even if you haven't ridden a bus in years. And don't worry if you're thinking, I'm not sure this is for me. These ideas are for everyone, whether you're a transit newbie or just looking to make your trip smoother. Let's start with the first tip, which is all about getting to know your local transit system before you even leave the house. Think of it like planning a little adventure. Most cities have websites or apps for their buses and trains, where you can find maps, schedules, and even real-time updates on when the next ride's coming. Take a few minutes to check out what's available in your area. Maybe sit down with a cup of tea and browse on your phone or computer. Look for the routes that go near places you visit often, like the grocery store, your community center, or your grandkid's house. If tech's not your thing, you can call your transit agency's customer service line or pop into a local library, where they often have printed schedules. My friend Margaret, who's 72, was nervous about taking the bus after years of driving, but she started by looking up her city's transit website. She found a route that went straight from her apartment to her book club, with a stop just a block away. Now, she rides it every week and says it's like having a personal chauffeur, minus the fancy hat. If you're not sure where to begin, try picking one destination you'd love to visit and finding a route that gets you there. Jot down the bus number or train line and when it runs, so you've got a starting point. It's like having a map to your freedom, and it feels so good to know you've got options. Now that you're getting familiar with the system, let's move on to the second tip, which is about making sense of fares and discounts. One of the best parts of public transit for seniors is that most places offer reduced fares for folks over 65, which can save you a bundle. Before you ride, check if your transit system has a senior pass or discounted ticket. You might need to show an ID or fill out a quick form to get one. Some cities even have reloadable cards, so you can tap and go without fumbling for change. If you're not sure what's available, ask at a ticket booth or look online for senior fares in your area. My neighbor Bob, who's 76, found out his local subway system gave seniors half-price rides after he chatted with a ticket agent. He got a senior card that he loads with a few dollars every month, and now he's zipping around town for less than he'd spend on gas. If your city offers a daily or weekly pass, do a quick calculation to see if it's cheaper than single tickets, especially if you're planning a few trips in one day. And here's a little trick: keep a small wallet or pouch just for your transit card or cash, so it's always ready when you need it. That way, you're not digging through your bag while the bus driver waits. So, we've got you exploring your transit options and saving money with senior discounts, which is already setting you up to ride with ease. Next, we're going to talk about a way to make sure every trip feels smooth and stress-free, even if you're going somewhere new. Now that you've got a handle on your local transit system and know how to snag those senior discounts, let's make sure every ride feels like a breeze with our third tip, which is all about planning your route with confidence. There's nothing worse than standing at a stop, wondering if you're on the right bus or if you'll miss your connection. A little prep can turn that worry into excitement, so you're ready to hop on and enjoy the journey, whether you're heading to a new restaurant or just running errands. The key is to map out your trip ahead of time, and I promise it's easier than it sounds. Start by picking your destination and checking the route you found earlier. That bus or train that gets you close to where you're going. If you're using a transit app or website, most of them have a trip planner where you type in where you're starting and where you want to end up, and it'll give you step-by-step directions, like take bus 12 at 10:15 and get off at Main Street. If you prefer paper, grab a map or schedule from your transit agency and trace the route with a pen. Write down the stop names, times, and any transfers, so you've got a clear picture of your trip. If you're feeling extra cautious, look up a backup route in case something unexpected pops up, like a delayed bus. My cousin Elaine, who's 71, started doing this before she took the train to visit her sister across town. She used her phone to check the schedule and wrote down the station names on a little card she kept in her pocket. That card was like her security blanket. She didn't even need it after the first trip, but knowing it was there made her feel ready for anything. If you're trying a new route, consider doing a practice run to a familiar place, like your favorite coffee shop, so you can get the hang of it without pressure. And don't be shy about asking the driver to confirm your stop. Most are happy to give a heads up when you're getting close. The beauty of planning your route is how it turns a potentially stressful trip into an adventure you're excited about. You're not just getting from point A to point B, you're out exploring, seeing your city from a new angle, maybe noticing a cute shop you've never spotted before. It's like giving yourself permission to enjoy the ride, not just the destination. Speaking of enjoying the ride, let's move on to the fourth tip, which is about staying comfortable and safe while you're on board. Public transit is a fantastic way to get around, but it's normal to want to feel at ease, especially if you're riding during busy times or going somewhere new. First, think about what makes you feel good when you're out and about. If you like having a seat, try to board early so you can grab one near the front. Most buses and trains have priority seating for seniors, so don't hesitate to use it. If standing's more your thing, hold onto handrails or poles, especially when the vehicle's moving. My friend Walter, who's 75, always brings a small water bottle and a light scarf when he takes the subway, just in case it's chilly or he's waiting longer than expected. He also keeps his wallet in a zipped pocket to avoid any worries about pickpockets, which is a great habit in crowded places. If you're riding at night or in an unfamiliar area, check the schedule so you're not waiting too long, and stick to well-lit stops if you can. Many transit systems have customer service numbers you can call if you need help, so jot one down or save it in your phone for peace of mind. And here's a little tip: if you're carrying a bag, keep it small and manageable, so you're not juggling too much while you board. Another way to stay comfortable is to dress for the weather and wear shoes that feel good for walking to and from stops. If you use a cane or walker, most buses and trains are equipped with ramps or low floors to make boarding easier. Just give the driver a heads up if you need a little extra time. The goal is to make every trip feel like a smooth part of your day, not something you have to stress over. Think about how nice it'll be to settle into your seat, maybe listen to some music or just watch the world go by, knowing you've got everything you need to feel great. As you start getting the hang of these trips, you'll notice how each one builds your confidence, like adding a new chapter to your story of independence. We've covered knowing your system, saving with discounts, and planning your route, and now we're making sure you're comfy and safe. These are all pieces of a puzzle that come together to give you total freedom to go where you want, when you want. Now that you're ready to plan your trips and ride with comfort, let's wrap things up with our fifth tip, which is all about turning public transit into a habit you love, not just something you do out of necessity. When you make riding the bus or train a regular part of your life, it's like unlocking a whole new level of freedom. You start to see it as your ticket to explore, connect, and enjoy your days without being tied to a car or relying on others. This tip is about building that habit in a way that feels natural and fun, so you're excited to hop on board, whether you're heading to a farmer's market or meeting friends for lunch. The first step is to start small and give yourself permission to ease into it. Pick one place you'd love to go each week. Maybe it's a park for a walk, a library for a new book, or a cafe where you can sit and people watch. Use the routes and planning tricks we've talked about to get there, and treat that trip like a little outing, not a chore. Over time, add another destination or try a new route, so you're slowly expanding your transit adventures. The goal is to make it feel as routine as your morning coffee, something you look forward to without overthinking. My neighbor Gloria, who's 77, started this way by taking the bus to her knitting group every Thursday. At first, she was nervous about missing her stop, but after a few weeks, she knew the driver's name and even started chatting with other regulars. Now, she's riding all over town to the theater, to visit her daughter, even to a new bakery she heard about. She says it's given her a spark she didn't realize she'd been missing, like she's rediscovered her city. If you're wondering where to begin, think about something you enjoy, like browsing a bookstore or grabbing a treat, and let that be your starting point. It's amazing how one small trip can make you feel like the world's wide open again. To keep the habit going, try pairing your transit rides with something that makes them special. Maybe you bring along a favorite podcast to listen to while you ride, or you treat yourself to a little snack when you get to your destination. You can even make it social by inviting a friend to join you. There's nothing like sharing a laugh on the train to turn a trip into a memory. My friend Sam, who's 73, started riding the subway with his buddy to their weekly chess club, and now they spend the whole ride joking about who's going to win. It's become their ritual, and Sam says it's half the fun of the day. Another way to stick with it is to keep a little notebook or use your phone to jot down the places you've gone and what you loved about them. Maybe you found a great new diner or noticed a pretty view from the bus window. Looking back at those notes can remind you how much joy transit brings, especially on days when you're feeling a bit hesitant. If you ever hit a snag like a late bus or a confusing transfer, don't let it discourage you. Just take a deep breath, try again, and remember that every ride makes you a little more of a pro. As you build this habit, imagine how it's going to feel to move through your days with total confidence, knowing you can go anywhere you want without a second thought. We've talked about getting to know your transit system, saving with senior discounts, planning your routes, staying comfortable and safe, and now making transit a joyful part of your life. Each of these steps is like a key, unlocking more possibilities for you to explore, connect, and live exactly the way you want. You're not just riding a bus or train, you're writing your own story of independence, one trip at a time. If you're sitting there thinking, can I really make this work for me? I'm here to tell you, you absolutely can. I've seen it with so many folks, like my Uncle Joe, who went from avoiding buses to planning day trips with his wife, all because he gave it a chance. It's not about being perfect or knowing everything right away, it's about taking small steps that add up to big freedom. Every time you step onto that train or find your stop without a hitch, you're proving to yourself just how capable you are, and that's something to celebrate. I'd love to hear about your transit adventures, so please drop a comment below and share what's on your mind. Maybe you've got a favorite route already, or maybe you're planning your first trip. Where are you headed? And if you found this video helpful, give it a quick like. It helps us share these ideas with more folks who might need a nudge to get rolling. Oh, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We're always posting tips to help you live your best life, whether it's getting around town or finding new ways to enjoy every day. As you head out on your next ride, remember this: You're stronger, smarter, and more adventurous than you might give yourself credit for. Public transit is your ticket to go anywhere, do anything, and live with total freedom. Keep exploring, keep smiling, and here's to all the amazing places you'll go.